All right, so welcome to the Arete Sports Performance Podcast. This will be something that I'll do every single week, and it will be very much based off of personal development. I'm going to be bringing in a lot of leaders in their own fields, leaders in the community, people who I really admire, and that are just leaders in general. And so this won't necessarily be just personal development. This won't necessarily just be performance, and it won't just be business. It'll kind of be a mix of everything. And like I said, bringing on a lot of people who I really respect and I really look up to. And so that's why my first guest today is Alyssa Walton. How's it going, Alyssa?
Great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. We're going to see how this thing goes. I don't know how it's going to go, to be completely honest.
We're going to figure it out together. It'll be fine. I'm super excited.
Yeah. So, Alyssa, real quick, just tell us a little bit about who you are, where you're from, what you do, dreams, all those types of things. Tell us a little bit about
All
yourself.
the dirty details, huh?
Yes.
No, nothing too juicy. But so, yeah, like Grant said, I'm Alyssa Walton. I grew up in a super small town about 45 miles south of Kearney, just over 100 people. So we're real up close and personal getting to know each other down in Upland, Nebraska. I graduated from Minden High School in 2008. Moved on to Lincoln for nursing school, graduated from there in 2011. Worked for a couple of years in a clinic as a nurse, and it wasn't that I didn't love what I did. I loved the patient relationship interaction and loved medicine. The human body just intrigues me. But ultimately found out that my heart lies in prevention of diseases versus the treatment side. So went back to
Type
school.
of medicine kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So went back to school, got my bachelor's in health and human performance with an emphasis in fitness and wellness. I also got certified as a personal trainer during that time. I'm now a functional training specialist, and I am working at Lincoln Industries as the wellness specialist. So been there for about a year and a half. I'm in charge of total worker health, run the on-site fitness center, design and coordinate programs for them. It's a lot of fun. I'm loving it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then you live with somebody that I know pretty well.
Yes.
You want to talk about your husband and your awesome son, Carter?
He's actually over there just destroying things. So if that's what you hear.
That doesn't sound like that would be Russ's son at all.
No. Yeah, you don't know my husband at all, right? Yeah, so Grant and Russ played football together for a handful of years. And fun fact, Grant was actually the DJ at our wedding. So that was super fun. But yeah, Russ and I met in high school volunteering at the local movie theater in our little small town, but we've been together for 11 years, high school sweethearts, and married for 4 now, and we've also got a 4-year-old named Carter.
Very nice. Awesome.
So things are chaotic, but we love it.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, and talk about that a little bit. It sounds like first of all, what's your job position? Like, what do you do specifically?
So as a wellness specialist, it's actually a lot of desk work. I've got my cubicle and kind of set up shop there every day, but I'm really just the point person for all things wellness for all 450 of our employees. So it's a huge undertaking. It's a huge audience. Thank you. But I'm working there full time. So 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, takes up a good chunk of my time, but I'm loving it. And, finding the balance between work life and home life is crazy hard. I have a lot of people that tell me I make it look easy, but it's not glamorous. I am a hot mess, like all of the time, and we're just in survival mode. But I think one of the biggest things that I found is you have to find a job and a career and a passion that you don't have to necessarily like split your time. Like when I leave work, I don't shut it off. Like that's who I am. Like that's my passion just overflows like throughout my entire life. And when I come home, you can see that in the meals that I cook for my family and the activities that we do as a family. So it really just kind of cohesively all comes together.
Carter wants on. Let's go. Yeah. Well, I mean, you've got a full-time job, of course, being a mom and being a wife to Russ, sure.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, if you can just talk a little bit more about like what are some daily disciplines that you use or that you apply to your life to make sure that, because being a mom, being a parent, being a wife, all those types of things, being in a significant role at your job, all those things require very much a lot of focus and a lot of energy. And so with that, could you maybe speak on like, what are some daily things that you do? Is there something that you plan? Do you have like a power list? Do you have, I mean, what do you do that is really makes it cohesive and like makes everything kind of stick together? Because let's be honest, moms are kind of the ones that keep everything together. So
For our family, that's definitely the case. Russ runs his own business and he dedicates a lot of time to that. He's a financial planner, so the work that he does is super important, and we're very thankful that he's able to do that on the level he is. But for me, I like live and die by my planner. I plan out everything. Everything is written down. I've got like a notebook that I carry with me. I use OneNote on my computer for work, for everything. I've got the app on my phone. Pretty much if it's not written down, like I'm not going to know what's going on. So I just resort everything back to that. It's in one place, then I can just get out of here and on there and just not worry about it. But we try and plan our whole day, like I do anyway, from the moment I wake up, even if it's okay, I'm at the gym from 5 to 6, and then I'm getting ready from 6 to 7, packing Carter up from 7 to 7:30, driving to work. And then once I get to work, like I've obviously got my work calendar, but post work too, Carter's got activities. Russ and I both have extracurriculars that we do too. So coordinating preschool pickup to, what we're eating for dinner that night, to just everything. We've got it coordinated. So communication is huge. I do have a couple non-negotiables though, is just for me personally to stay on track. And the biggest one is my workout. Like that has to happen every single day. Not only for the benefits of the physical activity, but that is my me time to recenter and get focused and get some of that stress off my chest. That, and then my faith is super important to me. So I make time for a devotion and meditation time, typically after my workout, kind of when I get home, just kind of that come off the high of the workout and stuff like that. But that really just gets me centered and ready to go and focused for the day.
Yeah. So do you actually put that in your planner as well then?
I do. Everything is planned out. Awesome. It sounds crazy, but almost like minute by minute, I've got something going on and I know what I'm doing in that moment.
And I thought it was really good that you mentioned that, because I think a lot of people, when they think about planning, they try and put it in their phone. And I think that's a huge mistake, because I think when you're writing it down, it's so much more stuck in your head than if you're just typing it into your phone, because, we open our phones however many times a day, but very rarely do we go into the notes section unless it's really important. And so I think writing it down, like you mentioned that. So I thought that was really great. Real quickly, could you just kind of talk about what does success mean to you? I mean, it's relative to the individual, in my opinion. Success to one person could be total failure to another person. And so if you could just touch on that, I think that would be awesome. Just kind of, because it, like I said, is really different for everybody. My definition of success would be very different from your definition of success, because our responsibilities kind of lie in different areas. I'm not married and I don't have a child. And so, a lot of the things that I want for the future are very much different than what you want for the future. And so if you could touch on, your definition of success and what success would be to you in its big crystal ball, I guess.
Yeah, totally. Hey, can you chill for just a second? Thank you. So yeah, I totally agree. Success is very subjective for each person, and it varies greatly for each individual. But for me, I don't really see success as like a destination or an end game per se. I definitely view it more on a continuum and something that I continually strive for. One of my mottos in life is very simple. It's just be greater. So be greater than I was yesterday, whether that's being a better wife, serving my husband better, being a better mom, maybe trying not to lose my cool tonight. Um, and especially at work, I've got a lot of lofty goals at work, but just do greater every single day. If I can reach one more person or, impact them in a positive way, just one, doing greater in that way. But yeah, ultimately my job is a huge motivator. I would love to take over the entire wellness program, and eventually kind of work my way up in the company, maybe vice president of people resources someday. There's a lot of opportunity for growth there, and I don't see why I should put a lid on that. I definitely plan to retire at Lincoln Industries, so exploring all of those options. And if I do move my way up, that just means there's that many more people that I can touch and help. On a family side, we haven't really decided, if we're going to expand kind of,
You got your hands full right there.
And that's what I tell people too. We're content and we're happy with what we've got. And bless Russ. He is definitely more of the visionary in our relationship. I'm very moment by moment, just here. Let's be present. So much so that I don't see very far into the future. So that's where we complement each other a lot. He's got like the 5-year plan where he knows what vehicle's sitting in the driveway, which nights we're at the fire pit in 5 years. It's one of those, but it's great. Of course.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's I think it's important to have that balance, and I think that you guys are really good at balancing that out, and I think that's probably why you guys do have such a strong marriage. And I think that's where maybe, I'm not married, so I can't really speak to it completely, but I think that that's where a lot of marriages may struggle at times, is where they're not on the same page. And it sounds like you guys have really great communication, and you guys have really good you balance each other out. He's a little bit extreme. I know Russ. He's a little bit extreme, and you're the one that kind of brings him back down a little bit. Not bring him down in a bad way, but just brings him back to balance.
Back to earth, yes.
Back to earth. So that's awesome. That's awesome. Do you want to, I guess we already talked about that a little bit as far as like the future, but you can touch on it a little bit more. As far as the future goes, you had said you want to retire at Lincoln Industries. It's a place that you really enjoy. But as far as, future plans with the family, anything else that you can think of that comes to your head as far as big goals that you want to reach? Is there like any competitions you want to do or anything like that? Or is there some type of business opportunity that you want to do? Or
yeah, I mean, I've definitely got personal goals as well. I try and run at least one half marathon every year. Usually try and beat my goal. I call it my redemption race every year. This year is super exciting. With my role at Lincoln Industries, we do an annual incentive trip out to Colorado for our healthy population. If they reach their goal, we take them out to Breckenridge, Colorado, and take them to climb a 14,000-foot mountain. So that's coming up in July, and I am super stoked. I wasn't able to go last year, so this is my first time participating in the event for me and with the company. So that's definitely on my radar this year, is get to summit, help others get there. So I would say that's what I've got on the radar this year. We'll see. I'm open to everything, anything and everything, as long as it's a challenge.
Yeah, like you said, you're very much the next day kind of person.
Yes.
I think it's really awesome. So, and then I'm going to throw one at you because I had sent you a text with some questions that I was going to ask you, just so you could be prepared.
Yeah.
I am going to ask you one more. All right.
All right.
That I didn't show you. So, if you could throw your dream concert, okay, and you only got 3 bands, okay, you got to pick from 3 bands, and they could be any band in the entire world from any era. So you could have like original Beatles, whatever it may be. You get 3 bands. Who are they?
Band or artist?
Doesn't matter. Yeah, it could be an artist.
Okay, number 1, Garth Brooks.
Well, yeah.
Hands down, Garth. The next one would probably be Bruno Mars.
Okay.
And the last one, this is like super random, but Nelly.
Nelly. That'd be a really diverse concert.
We'd hit every single
country,
genre.
you'd have some pop, you'd have some rap. It'd be great. I'd love that concert. That's a good lineup.
Hopefully. I would go. No.
Awesome. Well, like I said, I appreciate you coming on, and you know, I wanted to kind of hit it off, like start the podcast off with a bang, and you guys are a couple that I respect so much, and just the work that you do and how you balance out your life, and you guys are just incredible people, and I'm really honored to know you guys. So
I appreciate it. I'm so glad you thought of me.
Yeah, absolutely. So all right, well, I thank you so much, and that is the end of the first episode of the Arete Sports Performance Podcast, and we will be back next week with a special guest.